Hello, what's going on everybody? Today we're going to be here with a different kind of video and most likely a kind of controversial video. God, I can already see that. I can already imagine the dislike button. It's going to be a little crazy, this video. Before I get into what I'm going to discuss today, I want to warn you all that there is going to be a guest star on this video, and that guest star is my opinion. I know it's a pretty scary thing, but I am going to be voicing my own opinion, which you may not agree with, and that's okay. You do not have to agree with my opinion. It's my own opinion. You can form your own. That's fine. So today, I want to be discussing the recent controversy with the Pausetech, is what it's been dubbed. That's what I call it, and I'm pretty sure that's what everyone else calls it. So Pausetech, if you don't know what it is, it's mainly used with a new unit, Voice Diavolo, where in his ability, you match a tile and then pause, so you can spot another match, make another match, pause, look for another one, pause. Basically, every single match you pause the game. Think of how players used to pause the game after each stand-up, so they could find a match and preserve combo. Think of this kind of like that, but instead of trying to save your combo, you're just trying to save your Diavolo time, so you can get more matches in it and do better in it. Now, this has led to some very unhappy people. I'll throw up some images on screen. There are a lot of dislikes on top 100 videos showcasing the Pausetech strat. It's got definitely some hate on it, and today I want to step on and talk about the Pausetech and why it might not be as big a deal as you all think it might be. Now, for this video, I actually interviewed a bunch of the top players in the game, which I'm going to leave nameless in case they do not want me to say who said these quotes. But I interviewed them about their thoughts on the Pausetech. Most people were, or everyone I discussed, most of them were under the impression, doesn't matter. What I heard repeated a lot is top 10, it's the same players as before the Pausetech came out. Pausetech is only really being used by a couple of the top runners, and I agree with that. People who don't have Voice Diavolo, like EX'd, I don't even think do Pausetech, because it's really only good for Diavolo. I can't really think of another unit that actually benefits from Pauseteching. So it's just for Voice Diavolo, and even then, there are only the only two people that come right to the top of my head are Char and Ravi that are doing super good with the Pausetech. Obviously, there's some other people, like, I don't know if Shuck does Pausetech, but he's pretty high up on the leaderboard too. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. It's not like, I mean, yes, it's dominating. I talked with Char a little bit about this, and Char said that it was doing about 30 million damage with V-Riz, which is insane, yeah. But it's not easy. And I actually went over to the dark side for this video and currently practice. It's almost like it's like you're doing the dark arts, you know. It's, you know, if you Pausetech, you are the spawn of Satan in the community's eyes. And I will confess, I used to think that as well. I used to be like, oh, Pausetech, that's pretty disgusting, pretty gross. Now I'm to the point where it's like, well, I also want to score high. So I am now doing Pausetech runs. Feels bad, boys. I'm sorry I've betrayed you. But I've also opened up my mind a little bit more to the strategy, and I have some thoughts about it personally I'd like to say. Pausetech is not something you need to be worried about if you are not... Well, and you shouldn't be worried about Pausetech anyways. One person I spoke to, they quoted, the people that were complaining about Pausetech are the people that have dreams of being in top 10, and they aren't going to achieve those dreams. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I get where they're coming from, where it's like, I was even the same way. I'm not a top 10 player. I'm not trying to make myself out to be a top 10 player, because I'm not. I'd say I'm maybe top 40-ish. I'm not normally super high on the leaderboards, unless there's like a score tag that's perfectly clicks with me. So I used to, yeah, I was like, well, it's not fun to try to compete for the top spots anymore, because you have to do Pausetech. But let's be honest, none of us were taking those spots away from Char and Ravi. It's not like we were going to pull up and be better than them automatically. And even if we were, it's not like Pausetech doesn't take skill. I know you might look at it and you're like, oh, it's a crutch. You know, they're pausing infinitely. Of course they're going to be pretty good. Pausetech's still not easy to do. I bet you guys, if you take your voice Diavolo right now, go into a score tech, go into training, whatever you want to do, try to do the Pausetech and get over 10 million damage. It's pretty hard. Even I'm doing this. I have a full EX Diavolo. I have level 50 Geomiss. That's my team for the score tech. It's pretty hard to get over 10 million unless you use those enhanced boxes, but the strat says you don't want to use those enhanced boxes in the time skip. Point is, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult to deal that much damage. They're not up there because this strat is super busted. They're up there because they are genuinely cracked players. It's still difficult to make those matches in your time skips when you're Pauseteching. It's not easy. And I know, everyone's probably just going to go, oh, well, no, it is easier pausing. I'm telling you guys, it's not. We can't. Now, obviously, you guys are entitled to your own opinion. That is okay. You can have your own opinion. My opinion is this strat doesn't really change anything. Now, I know that sounds kind of strange, but let me elaborate. Like I said, those top players, Shinoko, Char, Ravi, they're going to be up there anyways. They were going to be up there no matter what. It's not like the Pausetech has, all of a sudden they've, popped out of nowhere and they're now the best players. No. They were already the dominant players. Now they just have a strategy that if they choose to use, they can perform even better. One of the people I talked to, quote, they said they enjoyed it because they put about 20 minutes into a run and they get rewarded for it. Instead of doing something with a V4 where you just make, 18 5x5s. It's not fun. And I have to agree in a way. In some strange way, Pauseteching is satisfying to pull off if you actually get pretty proficient at it, which I'm in no way. I choke. Like, I missed the pause button. That's how bad I am at it. I'm not good at it, but I'm practicing. But it's not a big deal, I don't think. And even if you think it's a big deal, if you're like, this has ruined the meta of the game, it's just, no. Just keep playing the game normally if you don't like this. This only affects the people that were already some of the best players in the game. I talked to one of the top players about it, and they said the strat is only being used by about 7 players, and only 4 of those players use Voice Diavolo. I don't see Pauseteching becoming a big thing outside of Voice Diavolo, because no other unit really benefits from it. It's just Voice Diavolo specifically that actually works with the Pauseteching. I just don't know what else to say. I don't think it's as big of a deal as it's been made out to be. I think it's still fun to play the game even if you're Pauseteching. In fact, I'm actually probably more determined to do runs right now because of Pauseteching. Because it's something that I'm not very good at and I can strive to get a little better. Because I'm above average at the game, I like to think. So it's nice for a strategy to come along that I can try to make use of and have it whoop me silly. I'm like, okay, well, I need to kind of get on it and learn this. It's fun for me. If it's not fun for you guys, because you're like, oh, well, now the high leaderboard is just Pauseteching, so what? Most of us likely aren't going to be up there anyways, so why do we care if Pauseteching is now what's used up there? Unless you're like a really top player, this doesn't affect you that much. You're going to be okay. I don't think it's that big of a deal, which is probably pretty controversial to say. I don't think it should be considered an exploit. I don't think the players that use this should be lynched. Obviously, they're not being lynched, but it feels like they're being, attacked just for using the strat. Like Char, a person that's mostly liked. Kitty is also another one that's really liked. And their videos showcasing the strat have been just disliked bombed. And I expect mine probably to have the same thing happen because I'm saying the strat is not that bad of a thing. But that's really all I need to say. I just can't fathom that this is such a big deal that people are like really angry over. Which I know, again, people that probably talked to me were like, oh, well, you're being pretty hypocritical. You were upset over this. Yeah, I was. Until I, unplugged monkey brain, plugged in the big boy brain, and I was like, okay, let's think about this with an open mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. It's just making the better players better. They deserve to be rewarded. It's not a skillless strat. It takes skill. It takes skill. I don't know how I can say it otherwise. That it's not horrible. I just don't see it I don't really have a structure for this. I'm just kind of ranting because I just don't think it should be like one of the biggest sins in Pitter history. You know, number one sin is summoning on the JoJo banner. Number two sin is using the Pausetech strategy. No, I don't think it should be that big of a deal. We all need to calm down. It's just not a big deal. It's not. It's a mobile game. Why are we even getting worked up over this? Why was I even getting worked up over this? Because I'm a baby, dude. I'm a little baby with my mobile game. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. Just kind of give my own take on the Pausetech controversy, as well as share some thoughts that the top players had, the players that actually use the strat, because I'm tired of so many people that don't, do this strat, talking about it and judging it. No, why don't we listen to the players that actually know about it and hear what they have to say? And all of them said it was pretty fun. I even think it's kind of fun. It's satisfying to pull off. So yeah, that's really it. See you.